So you were 16 when you started TBEY, right?
Yes.
Okay. Take me back to that time, because it's 25 years, and someone may look at you and say, like, you're not that old, even though it's not that old.
Yes.
Because you're still young and beautiful.
Well,
look at the
you.
skin.
Well, thank you. I'm glowing. Yeah, so I was 16, and I was at that time, John Marshall High School. So, product of MPS. And my background or my love and passion was dance. And so I wanted to just dance. Like, I wanted to choreograph movements to music, and my cousins, you know, they had the same love, and some of my peers had the same passion, but at that time, financially, they couldn't go to other dance schools or programs outside of school. And looking at the news one day with my dad, and it was like breaking news, budget cuts, MPS. First line item was the arts program.
Really?
So I'm like, what does that mean? You know, like, no more art. So of course, with it, you know, art being very instrumental in my life and my family, I was devastated. I was just like, what do I do with that? And so one day I was watching BET, and that's Black Entertainment Television, for those who don't know. And
right, because we're in a different time now.
Exactly. Some kids don't even watch BET. Right.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I was like, so I've always been the artist. I don't consider myself an artist still, but people get on me about that. But I wasn't the artist that wanted to like be on the stage and like the spotlight and all of that stuff. I just wanted to do or be involved in the arts. And I was like, it's people on the stage that look like me. What's going on behind the stage? Like, you know, musicians, and it was a representation matters. And so when I was going to dance classes within the city, they were downtown, and I didn't see no one that looked like me. So that is one of the reasons why it kind of discouraged me for pursuing and continuing the work that I was doing in dance. And so I was like, what is a production? Like, what happens behind the stage? What are those people doing with the lights and the cameras? And so I was fascinated by that. And so one day, promise you, I was a good student. Like, I was doodling in my social studies class.
But you were still focused.
Straight A's, 4 point all day.
We're not gonna charge you.
No. Graduated, you know, I could have graduated early. So I was focused. But I was doodling in class, and one day I just wrote down.
That's what creatives do.
Exactly. Tessa's Black Entertainment and Youth, and so that's where TBEY came from.
Right, because everybody knows your organization as TBEY. So that's where that came from.
So that's BET. Shout out to BET. That's where it came from. And of course, you know, 16, you put your name in there. You know, Tessa. So from there, I was just kind of like, all right, I'm graduating. I always wanted to open up my own business. I'm around entrepreneurs, creatives. Why not open up a dance company, dance studio?
Was that your first business?
No, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I know I wanted to go to college. So I was enrolled in UWM School of Business. So that was the idea. That was the plan. Prior to that, and that's why I say, you know, I started TBEY at 16, is because that's where like the logo came, like everything. I had the whole floor plan of what the center looked like. But I was doing like talent shows with my family. I have a huge family, so we always had like, you know, Thanksgivings was like a hall. We had to rent out a hall, and so we would do talent shows and all of that stuff. So at that point, while I was in college too, I ended up seeing a program that was called community education. So I was like a junior already in School of Business. And then that's how I just started TBEY. Like I found out, you know, how to get a nonprofit status, became 501c3, tax exempt.
And you were that young. Wow, that's amazing. Like you were driven. To have to know your purpose and to just really jump on it and not second guess is amazing. Like, who helped you to have that mindset? Because being that young, anyone could have said, like, what are you doing? That don't even make any sense. But you were watching the news, and then something just clicked in you, and then you were like, I want to do something about it. I want to be the change agent. So you were a leader already. Like, prior to that, has anyone ever told you like, Contessa is such a boss, she's a leader, she's this, she's that?
All my life.
Because, you know, I met your mother, and I'm a proud member of the board. So, you know, I do have some, you know, special way that I do feel about TBEY. But I met your mother before, and she is so hyped up and passionate about, you know, her daughters. And, you know, she does this and she does that. And she should be proud, because you ladies are amazing, you know, and they're supporting you, doing what they're doing, and dancing here and all the things.
Yeah.
But what were people saying about Contessa growing up?
Well, I've always been a passionate person, in general. So all the things that I have been involved in, I'm going full force into it. So when I was younger, I always wanted to be a teacher. So when you mentioned, like, people always was like, she a boss, or I was a teacher. I had like my fake kids on the floor. My mom would tell you this story to this day. And so I just always had that compassion, like, for others and wanting to help others. And so that stemmed into, you know, me being in high school and seeing that, okay, it's leaving. I had the honor of being able to be involved on the school level. Of course, my parents were able to send me to different programs outside of school. But I'm like, but what about these kids that I'm graduating? So if the cut is happening, they're not gonna have art. So it was just a matter of like, I gotta figure out something so that they can have art. And so full circle, we're doing that to this day. But
25 years later.
Correct.
Yes.
And being in again, full circle, being in MPS, providing art programming, like I set off to, you know, provide, we're still doing that to this day. But I think for the most part, like, I was always ambitious. I was always, you know, thriving to be better for myself, but then also just for others and want to help others. And so I'm always around arts, creatives. My father, I'm a DJ kid, so my taste for music is all over the place. My love for music is like, it's like the way I breathe.
What's your favorite genre?
Oh my gosh. So I am a hardcore 90s and 2000 R&B with a sprinkle of 80s, because I'm an 80s baby. But definitely R&B.
Okay. And we need some R&B back. You know,
the real,
we need it. It's
R&B.
Missing.
So
It's
I mean,
really
it's a lot of artists out there.
It
now
is,
that
you know,
are
it's
really good,
some
but
people, you know, you have SZA, you have her. I'm more on the her end. I'm trying to think of other people. Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh my God.
You know, like, so we do have some people. But it's just different. Of how we.
But I'm all over the place when it comes to music. My dad has a collection of albums, and so this last month I was going through his album, so I just like picked 10 and I'll take them home. I bought a record player.
Yes.
And so
I need to get a new one.
I
need to get a new one.
It's just fun. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just brings up old memories of me, like, helping him. DJ.
Yeah, I knew that's why we had a connection. It was something. You know, I didn't know what it was, but
music is
I love me. I live and breathe music, and all different, you know, genres. Jazz is one of my favorite.
Yes.
But I always say, like, I can go from jazz to trap real quick.
So yeah, my sister always
at any
teased me. She always teased me, and I'll, like, if I'm in my car and I'm turning on music, she calls it the soft ratchet. That's me.
Oh, okay. Soft ratchet.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
I don't know if she made that up, but I think
soft ratchet.
I think she heard it from somewhere. But
yeah. Like, okay, what song would be like soft ratchet?
Oh gosh, I mean, like a hype song, like a song that you just like, you can't not move. So I'm in the car looking crazy and don't care.
Right.
That music.
I feel you.
Upbeat, you know, just
I feel you.
Pump you up.
I feel you. You've been serving so many students over 25 years. What do you think that they would say about you? How would an ideal TBEY student describe you? And do you say students or participants?
Students, members.
How would they describe you?
Well, first they'll describe TBEY as home. That's what I've been hearing for many, many years. It's another home. I think they would describe me as Tessa always care. Like she listens. She's somebody we can actually, go to, and they probably say I'm goofy. So I think those are, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's that, and that's with any of our staff that, they encounter. So I think it's that being so small enough that my office is literally right here, and they come knocking on my door, or just don't even knock, they just come in. And the first thing I yell is security
when they come in. Yeah, like
and it's just been a joke throughout the years to where they're like, Tessa gonna call security, because why you ain't here, why you ain't knock on my door? But they know that they can do that. They know that it's a open door policy with me, specifically, and so it's just, I think they're comfortable, and they have that, and they know that I care about them, because it's TBEY it's a holistic approach as we work with kids in their development.
Yeah,
not just ours.
I love it. I love everything that you're doing and your mission, and that's why I don't hesitate in supporting everything you do. So managing what you manage on a day-to-day basis, and you have a beautiful son. How old is your son?
He's 5.
5.
6 in August.
So you have other businesses. You have you have a lot going on. Now, how do you manage? We want to get into the self-care, personal time. How do you manage that and then get to 25 years? Like what did it take, self-wise?
Priority. But it didn't look too good in the beginning, because this consumed me. TBEY was, I lived and breathed, like anybody knew me and saw me, you would just think that I probably have a whole logo, TBEY logo, on my body. So I think it took some time, to realize you have to like hit rock bottom. I'm talking about personally, in order to understand or realize that you need to take care of yourself. Because again, I'm waking up, I'm sleeping, and I'm like waking up out of my sleep and just like typing something, and it's like, and as you get older, and I think me having my son definitely put a pause on making sure that I took care of myself, and health wise, and being an older mom with a 5-year-old right now. But it was like he saved my life. Like he really literally saved my life, and if it wasn't for him, I would not have taken that time sooner. It was probably later, something actually really bad to happen for me to actually take care of myself.
And so you just were on go.
I was on go. Like I don't even think I had a personal life. And so reality check is my son. He's a priority. He's gonna go over on top of anything in my life outside of even all the other businesses that I have. He's priority, but I know that alongside of that is me. I have to take time for myself. I have to exercise. I have to just sit still, and sometimes I got really guilty for going to the gym, or just sitting still, or just going to take, going to a movie, or just doing something for myself. I was guilty for years for doing that. And so now it's like, I don't care.
Is that where the glow is coming from?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I got a new little swag these last couple of years, thanks to my son.
Okay.
Shout out to Titan.
We love that. Titan, love the name. You just received a Titan. Like you've accomplished a lot.
I always say that award, that one award. When they were like, you got the Titan 100 award, I was like, I'm so grateful for it. Trust me, I'm grateful for it. The Titan 100 is top CEOs of Wisconsin, and so definitely honored. But I was like, it's named Titan. That's my baby. So I'm excited. It was so personal. So, yes.
So personal. And then I came around into your life and into your organization when you received a Woman of Influence.
Yep, and that was 2022.
I believe so. Yeah, it's been some time. And so how did you feel about that?
So I think on the they did like a filming of us for the award ceremony for the Milwaukee Business Journal. And I think on that video I said, I don't even know how to accept an award or something along those lines. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking, me? And so everybody around me, like, of course you.
Yeah.
So I'm still in that phase of like, I just do this because it's my journey. It's just my, you know, it's just in me. And this is, like you said earlier, like this was a calling that I was fortunately to have at an early stage. Because we all still are trying to find our way, you know, in life. And I'm still, like, personally, but this is my calling. And so I'm just like, I just do this. So I don't need any acknowledgments or, you know, accolades or anything like that. So it's still hard to get used to because I'm kind of shy and, you know, like, I don't like the spotlight. Yeah. And so as this interview is happening, this was supposed to happen a while. I shy away from all these interviews. But I would say, though, in the last couple of years, I have embraced it. I have embraced allowing people to give me my flowers, allowing to praise me, even though I'm like going like this. So I have opened up more to just receiving.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. I definitely know what that's like to just receive, you know. And when you are a doer, that, you know, that's how doers are. It's just like head down, let me just do the work. And then you have to pick your head up because your head could be down and you can miss things. Your head could be down and then your health is not good and, you know, all the things. So you have to like come up for a little bit and like smell the roses.
I try.
Yeah.
And I've been getting a lot of those, and so it's been nice to see, especially at that time we were already like 20 years in, you know, so I did put in a lot of work. It's gonna always still be awkward. It's gonna always still be that thing that I feel,
and that's okay.
But I'm appreciative and I'm accepting it.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, we're all made uniquely. God made us that way, so we know. Yeah, it's okay. But you are receiving, and I want to give you your flowers personally.
Thank
you. Know, I always tell you, you know, how, you know, proud I am of you and just everything that, again, I support TBEY because I believe in the work that you're doing and the impact in arts, how it has an impact on people's lives, specifically our youth. You know, some youth without art, like, they wouldn't even be here. They would not be here. And so when we're talking about, like, you know, moving forward in 25 years and you receiving, now you have this new vision as far as moving into new spaces and raising, you know, money and funds and all the things. And so we need dollars. We do. You know, we need money to continue to make change. Like, what does that look like for TBEY now in 25 years? And you don't have to tell us everything. Of course, there's a lot of things that we can't know. But what can we know as the public, and how can we support you?
So we are launching, for the first time ever, so this is new territory for me, a Mosaic or capital campaign, which is entitled Mosaic. Mosaic is a campaign that will help us build our infrastructure, capacity building, and expand our reach. But it's also in conjunction with a potential move. So our current location, we've been here for 13 years. We are outgrowing this space. We actually have a theater production this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and we do our own props and set design. So we're like spilling out, as you can see. And so it's
now who made this? Because I love this.
So this was a project that our summer arts camp students did with our visual art instructor, Daniel Chu, a couple of years ago. So these are the silhouettes of the participants, and what they did was they built things that they were passionate about, that they cared about, that was in their world, in their silhouettes. So we'll definitely duplicate that at the other our potential location. So yeah, the Mosaic campaign is definitely intertwined with a big move, and So we're looking to raise several $1,000,000 for that capital campaign and just build more partnerships. So the idea, this will be an exclusive, the idea was to have a space that is embedded in cultural and wellness. So building those relationships and collaborating with health care agencies and wellness services, so that it's again, like, we diving in deep to a holistic approach of youth development.
That is so good because of given the climate that we're in. So to just be able to say, I want to even move deeper into, you know, outside of arts, but holistically, how do I support the youth? I'm excited.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. And then you brought up as far as students being like needing art. I actually just got a text this weekend from a colleague of mine, and she was just talking about there's a student at this school, and she is very artistic, but she don't feel like she belongs. Like she don't feel like she, you know, if she's too artsy, the kids are like, you're weird, and so, and that's where TBEY comes into place. Like we take those babies and be like, that's okay.
Let's figure this out.
Let's show you how you could present yourself in this world as who you are and be okay with it. And so it's just like, it's moments like that where, like, I got a text and they're like,
and then that just fuels you to, like, okay,
absolutely,
let me just keep doing what I need to do. Okay,
absolutely,
we got to do what we need to do for this year.
Yeah.
So I won't ask you what's gonna happen in the next 10 years or 25 years. I won't ask you that, but I will ask you, with, you know, continuing this year, like, what is your vision? How do you want to carry out? And again, just how can the communities rally around you? Because some people are going to hear this interview and they have never heard of TBEY, whether they are in Milwaukee or wherever they are at, because people know about TBEY outside of the city of Milwaukee as well. So just like, you know, kind of just, you know, give us a rundown of TBEY and why TBEY as an arts organization.
And unfortunately, I hear that a lot in Milwaukee, that, like, I've never heard y'all, like, I've never heard you exist. And yes, so we were covered on a national platform on the Today Show at the top of last year, where they just seeked out my story and came and did a whole segment on us here at our studios. They flew out from New York. So grateful for those exposures. But as far as Milwaukee, who we do this for, I think the vision is to, again, broaden our reach, expand, you know, what we do, and offering more deep services around, and this really building patrons of the arts. Like, that's one of my like my personal long-term goals for TBEY, is to for one, diversify these art scene and the art community. So building patrons of the arts that look like me, that are sitting in these seats and giving to the arts, whether it's monetary or, again, just being a patron. And so I think how they could support is, for sure, the capital campaign, sharing with other people what we do, our social media, following us on our social media, which is all of the handle is TBEY Center, and that's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. And really just being a advocate for the arts and making sure, especially with all the stuff that's going on with federal dollars, and, you know, again, like how I experienced as a kid, the first thing that's gonna go is the arts, because it's not important. But arts make everything work. And I don't think people don't, like,
I always say art is life and life is art.
Like everything. I'm talking about, from doctors to lawyers to engineers, architects. Like, we have to have a creative, you know, in your job, that what they do, they have to be creative, regardless. And so I just want to make sure that we are, as far as the stamp that we're putting in our community, TBEY and myself personally, is you know, again, building advocacy around the arts and making sure people understand that it is important. It is it's actually vital.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifeline for a lot of people,
Right,
and so especially young people, because they're doing it like this is a whole different time. Like these kids are brilliant, but they're overstimulated with all the things that's going on with social media and all of that stuff. But we gotta help them navigate
Mm-hmm.
this world in a different way. And what else? How else can you do that than art and being creative? So if that all makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, you know. And so I just really appreciate you saying yes to, like, you know what? Let me do something about this at 16 years old. And I hope and pray that that encourages someone who watches this, and they can say, I can make a difference even at 16. I can make a difference. I seen something, I heard about something, and especially in the climate that we are in, that, you know what, okay, this is getting cut, but then what can I do to, you know, bring about change? So this is the perfect time, and I believe the foundation of your story is encouraging, because someone else can look back, you know, at this time, 25 years later, and they can say, you know what, when this was happening, I decided to start this. I decided to run for this or that. And then because of that, this is the impact. Your story is, you know, a testament of making impact.
Resilience.
Yes, and resilience. Thank you so much for giving us TBEY.
Thank you.